What if the phone that was once known for its bold, commanding design suddenly started looking like a knockoff of the iPhone? That's the surprising shift Samsung is making with the Galaxy S26 Ultra. And for a lot of fans, it feels like the company is giving up the very identity that made the Ultra stand out in the first place. Here's the issue. When Samsung first softened the corners on the Galaxy S25 Ultra, plenty of people weren't thrilled. The sharp, boxy design had always given the Ultra a presence. It was instantly recognizable, almost like the modern evolution of the Galaxy Note. But with rounded corners, the phone suddenly looked less like a Samsung flagship and more like, well, everything else. Now leaks say the Galaxy S26 Ultra will go even further in that direction with an even rounder, softer look. Why does this matter? Because in a market dominated by Apple, design identity is more than just aesthetics. It's survival. Apple already has the advantage of being the default choice in the US. It's the brand people know, trust, and see everywhere. For someone switching from an iPhone 16, one of Samsung's biggest selling points should be that its phones look and feel completely different. But if the S26 Ultra looks like just another iPhone-shaped slab, then why bother switching at all? Most people will just go with the name that's more familiar. This is the concern. Samsung risks blending into the background. The S25 Ultra already looked a little too close to Apple's playbook, and the S26 Ultra seems poised to blur the line even more. Instead of standing tall as Samsung's boldest, most distinctive device, the Ultra now risks looking like just another rounded phone in a sea of rounded phones. It's ironic, though, because Apple is playing a similar game. The upcoming iPhone 17 Pro is reportedly pulling design cues from Google's Pixel lineup. The iPhone 17 Air, for example, looks so much like a Pixel that you'd have to squint to tell the difference. Both companies seem to be drifting away from their signature looks, Samsung from the Note-inspired Ultra and Apple from the timeless iPhone slab, and moving toward a kind of generic, shared middle ground. And that raises a bigger question. Why are the two biggest players in the industry abandoning what made them unique? These aren't revolutionary redesigns with bold new ideas. They're small, cosmetic tweaks that make the devices look more alike than different. Consumers are left staring at two phones that share the same rounded edges, glossy frames, and camera bumps, wondering what exactly sets them apart. Now, in fairness, there are still meaningful differences under the hood. Samsung's Ultras still pack massive 5,000 mAh batteries, while Apple only recently got around to putting 120Hz displays on all its models. And in the future, bigger shifts are coming. Apple's iPhone 20 Pro is rumored to debut a brand new display design, while Samsung's S26 Edge could mark the transition to silicon batteries, finally breaking past the limits of current lithium-ion tech. Those are exciting innovations. But right now, in the present, Samsung's decision to soften and round off the Ultra's identity feels like a misstep. Here's my take. The Ultra should feel like the ultimate. It should have a presence that immediately sets it apart, the way the Galaxy Note once did. When you held a Note, or even the S21 Ultra or S22 Ultra, you knew you were holding something bold, something that wasn't afraid to stand next to an iPhone and say, "I'm different." That kind of confidence mattered. It gave Android users a sense of pride in choosing something that didn't just copy Apple, but dared to look and feel like its own thing. Losing that is risky. Because if the Ultra becomes indistinguishable from an iPhone at a glance, Samsung loses one of its strongest advantages, its identity. And in a market where Apple already dominates mindshare, blending in isn't just harmless, it's potentially costly. So, if Samsung really does stick with this softer, rounder S26 Ultra design, it may find that fewer people are willing to pick it over the iPhone. After all, if they look almost the same, most buyers will just go with the safer, more popular option. That's not where Samsung wants to be. The bottom line is, people don't buy Ultras just for specs. They buy them for the experience, the uniqueness, the feeling of having something distinct. And if Samsung keeps sanding down the edges, literally and figuratively, it risks sanding away the very soul of its flagship. What's your thoughts on this? Let me know in the comments section. See you in the next video. Take care.